bill I'm about to sign into law, Senate Bill 1070, represents another tool for our state to use as we work to solve a crisis that we did not create and the federal government has refused to fix. The crisis caused by illegal immigration in Arizona's porous border. This bill, the Support Law Enforcement and Safe Neighborhoods Act, strengthens the laws of our state. It protects all of us, every Arizona citizen, and everyone here in our state lawfully. And it does so while ensuring that the constitutional rights of all in Arizona remain solid, stable, and steadfast.
Instructed members of my administration to closely monitor the situation and examine the civil rights and other implications of this legislation. But if we continue to fail to act at a federal level, we will continue to see misguided efforts opening up around the country.
That law is an unfortunate one. I think that it is, I fear, subject to potential abuse, and I'm very concerned about the wedge that it could draw between communities that law enforcement is supposed to serve and those of us in law enforcement. The Justice Department, along with the department, along with DHS, is looking at the law to decide exactly how we are going to react to it. We are considering all possibilities, including the possibility of a court challenge.
And we all know what happens in Arizona when you don't have ID. Adios, amigos.
You've said we're a nation of cowards because we don't talk freely and openly about race. So in that spirit, let me give it a shot. Do you think the Arizona immigration law is racist?
Well, I don't think it's necessarily a good idea. I mean, I think we have to understand that the immigration problem that we have, the illegal immigration problem that we have, is a national one, and a state-by-state solution to it is not the way in which we ought to go.
But your issue with it is not that it's state-by-state. Your issue with it is that there are concerns that there might be racial profiling that takes place, right?
That is certainly one of the concerns that I have, that you will end up in a situation where people are racially profiled, and then that could lead to a wedge drawn between certain communities and law enforcement.
Well, I certainly think it's divisive. I don't think there's any question about that. One only has to look at the reaction that we have seen not only in Arizona but around the country to the impact, the divisiveness of that law. And my question is whether or not it would ultimately be effective in this way. I think the potential for racial profiling is certainly increased by the passage of such laws, and I think that then leads to the potential driving of a wedge between the communities that law enforcement is trying to reach out to, into the communities that law enforcement is trying to serve.
So Arizona, since the federal government totally fails to secure the border, desperately then passed laws to protect its own people. The law is supported by 70% of the people in Arizona, 60% of all Americans, and 50% of all Hispanics, according to the Wall Street Journal NBC poll done just this week. And I understand that you may file a lawsuit against the law. It seems to me the administration ought to be enforcing border security and immigration laws and not challenge them. And that the administration is on the wrong side of the American people. Have you read the Arizona law?
I have not had a chance to. I've glanced at it. I have not read it. I have not had a chance to. I've glanced at it. I have not read it.
It's 10 pages. It's a lot shorter than the health care bill, which was 2,000 pages long. I'll give you my copy of it if you would like to have a copy. Even though you haven't read the law, do you have an opinion as to whether it's constitutional?
I've not been briefed yet.